Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Philly to Detroit Boxing, man. We got a returning guest with us, man. Chad, the Candyman Pitts. What's going on with you, dog?
What's going on? What's going on?
You know what I mean? Appreciate you for coming back on with us, Brody. I know you going your way back to you going back to Morehouse.
Yeah, man, we still at Morehouse.
Oh yeah, yeah. And how has that been? Just obviously as a guy who's trying to take boxing seriously, but college is time consuming. It's a lot of work. How are you kind of balancing the two?
Just like the same thing before, man. Just making sure I'm putting my best forward effort to getting the things that I know I need to get done before I start, engaging in other things. Like as long as you kind of stay disciplined with doing your assignments on time and making sure that you're attending class every day, is the work kind of does itself. You feel me? So it's kind of like it's whatever. It's difficult by no means is it easy, but it's definitely possible. So I put my best foot forward every day to make it happen.
Real shit. And I've seen that y'all got like a boxing club down there. Did you start that, or were you involved in starting that?
No, I didn't start the club personally. A good friend of mine, Jacoby, he had started the club. He had graduated from Morehouse last year. Actually, congratulations to him. But him and his friend Bryce, they had started the club and they had established it in 2021. I became a member of the club my freshman year, 2023, and the strides and the progress that the club has made within these last 2 years has been astronomical. Like we went from putting on makeshift shows, like backyard shows, to actually having a sanctioned USA boxing event on homecoming week with our own day. You know what I mean? So shout out to Morehouse Boxing Club, man. We done really took it far and things of that nature. It's really all credit to the president. Shout out President Caleb and shout out Coach Ty Morrell. He's the head coach of the Morehouse Boxing Club who prepares us and everything like that. It's a real good thing that we going on, and I feel like we could be the future of college boxing. Like college boxing, like when you think of college boxing, you'll think of Morehouse boxing. We got great fighters on the team, people who had started last year already showing strides of being great amateurs if they stick with it to years to come. So it's like the progress we've made in the short amount of time we've had, like it's been astronomical. It's amazing.
No, real shit, man. Yeah. And we was talking about it a little earlier too, man. We just been, just keeping up with you. You've been super active as far as like fighting these sanctioned tournaments and events and everything. What's your mindset right now? Do you feel like you feel like you just got a lot of energy to keep going right now? You want to stay active at this particular moment? What's your mindset right now as far as just progressing?
Man, one thing about momentum is once you kind of get the ball rolling, you want to keep stepping on the gas. You know what I mean? I want to just keep doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Staying humble, staying down, staying focused. Like, really, nothing has changed, even with like the new coming like support or people seeing how I can perform when I'm doing my best and things of that nature. Like, even with that, I'm just like, I still got the same mindset. I got to stay hungry, stay down, stay humble because things really now are just now starting to begin. And I plan on staying active. We plan on going to December. We plan on doing club shows in between then to stay sharp and things of that nature. But yeah, we still got the same focus that we had at the beginning of the year when things wasn't moving the way it was right now.
Right, fact, fact.
Ain't you rank like six in the country right now?
Yeah, we rank number 6 in the nation now. God, all glory to God. To be honest,
Where and just speak about your experience in the last tournament. You made it all the way to the championship round, lost a close fight. Just speak about your experience.
and one thing I can say is like during the whole experience, and I don't mean to be like a braggart or anything like that, but like it was kind of like I was kind of just coasting. Like I really wasn't thinking. Like it was like effortless almost. Like I was in kind of like a different state of mind and being. Like it was almost like a flow state type of feeling. Like even after every win, it wasn't like an excitement over me. It was kind of like, okay, we know what we here to do. You feel me? Job's
Yeah,
not done. I didn't really feel a sense of relief until after the tournament was like just completely over. Like I couldn't celebrate anything. You feel me? But one thing that was different this tournament compared to others was like my mentality. I can say my mental state took like a big jump within these past couple of weeks. I've been really studying like and getting right with my mind. You know what I mean? I've been reading books on psychology, sports psychology, and really tapping into like not only training my body to its fullest extent, but also preparing myself mentally to the fullest extent. Because like your body can only do what your mind allows. And if your mind is already setting limitations to what you feel like your body can do, that's what'll come out.
No, real shit. It's a lot of people say that too. It's like a lot of sports, not just boxing, and they'll say it's 90% mental, 10% physical, or things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about that? Just in terms of you progressing your mindset. How do you feel like that helps you in boxing in general? Just like as far as having a clear mind, just being able to think clearly in the ring.
I feel like having a clear mind is kind of where like the people who are like good amateurs and great amateurs separate themselves. Being able to stay calm, like within that like fire, within like the nervousness, within like everybody watching, within like just the like everything that comes with being a fighter, the weight cut. You know what I mean? Having the weight to fight, the act like the long days, short nights, cutting weight while fighting, ice baths during the week, like bad tasting food, like staying calm and just like knowing that what you're here for, not letting any of that get to you. Like when you let stuff like that get to you, it hinders your performance before you even step into the ring. You know what I mean? Your legs might be a little bit weaker. You might be, your mind might be racing. You might get a little bit scrambled and flustered in the ring, which cause you to like look unprepared. You feel me? Being calm kind of like allows everything to flow out of you. You know what I mean? It lets the work flow out of you.
Or the going back to your last tournament, do you feel like that was your best experience or the best you performed to date? Because that was the one that kind of had everybody making highlight tapes. I seen people on YouTube, kind of seeing you out there, letting them know about you now. Do you feel like that was your best experience to date?
I do feel like it was my best experience, but like kind of like even going through the tournament, like I know I have so much more to give, like because of how lax it was. Like I didn't really even have to like turn it up and get into my bag until really like the quarterfinals. You feel me? So it's
Right.
like, but I feel like
Yeah.
in December when I'm finding like a higher echelon level of competition slash opponent, I feel like we'll be able to see like what type of level I'm on even then. You know what I mean? Against the top of the top in the nation. Because I feel like I could do the same thing against them that I did against these people. The only thing I had to unlock really was my mind. It was really me versus me the entire time for real.
Right. And I was actually just about to ask it. I was going to ask, what's something you feel like you struggled with, prior to this, we feel like you coming alive now, you starting to flow in these tournaments and things like that. You starting to really feel yourself in there. What's something that you struggled with, prior that you feel like, now you just feel like, you got it.
I mean, it was a couple of things I was dealing with. I was dealing with distractions outside of the ring. You know what I mean? Like for a while having a mindset of halfway in, halfway out, and I'm being completely transparent and honest, you know what I mean? And a lack of self belief. And I feel like the biggest cornerstone for anybody, if you want to be successful, is self belief. Because if you don't have self belief that you can do something, you'll always have limiting thoughts and kind of like thoughts that'll bring you down to your comfort zone. Like as soon as things start to present itself, like where you have to rise to the occasion to be great, you'll choose comfort inevitably if you don't have that self belief in your mind. You know what I mean? But also like getting rid of distractions outside of the ring. Like I was engaged in like things like that was kind of taking my focus and in moments where I really needed to be focused. You know what I mean? Somebody who's supposed to not like distract me, unfortunately, like not allowing me to have my mind on course as best as possible, if you understand what I mean. So we had to like let go of like baggage and dead weight and things of that nature so I can really like fly and flourish the way I need to. You feel me? But I feel like conquering the self belief, like believing that I'm worthy, the hard work that I put in is enough. You know what I mean? Like to be a world, like to hold a world title. Like it's deeper than amateur boxing. Like this is really just the beginning. You know what I mean? Like that's why I gotta stay down, stay humble, and continue to grind. But self belief is definitely the biggest change I can say out of like anything mentally wise. Self belief and confidence.
Speak about your training camp before the tournament and kind of the guys that got you ready for the tournament in terms of sparring.
You know what's crazy? This was probably one of my worst training camps ever.
And why you say
You
that?
say
I
that?
I barely so boom. a couple weeks before the training camp, right? We're flowing, we're good, and we've been consistent, right? So we have layers of foundation to build and bank on. You know what I mean? We've been fighting, I've been running, I've been sparring consistently. But I would say a couple weeks before the tournament, I was sparring at Javon Warner Walton, the MVP prospect. He
Yeah,
signed the
yeah.
MVP promotions. I was sparring him, right? He's a good friend of mine. We've been sparring each other since we were young and things of that nature. And so we were getting some work in and some awkward, he's a southpaw, I'm orthodox, some awkward, like, arm mix up got like entangled and my elbow was hyperextended. And
Mm.
so like I hyperextended my elbow and my elbow was kind of like stuck in a position for a couple of days. I was having weird tendon pain in my finger. So every time I punched with my right hand, I would feel pain in my finger and it got really bad. I had to take an anti-inflammatory pill once a day, 2 Tylenol before I trained. And like it was hard for me to hit the mitts due to my hand. So we was really working on left hand work and I was fighting as a southpaw a lot, trying to work on my backhand and things of that nature, and like my check hooks from both sides. But regarding sparring, like we probably got 2 sessions in within 3 weeks before we actually headed out to nationals. But I think the less sparring we did allowed me to be a little bit more sharper. Like I wasn't like burnt out or nothing like that. Like all the energy I had was really like let out into the week. Like I kind of peaked during the week. So my training camp was bad, but it really kind of led to me having like a peak performance while I was there.
Right, right. And speaking about that, that's because that's homie from Euphoria, ain't it?
For sure.
Yeah, yeah, that's the homie from Euphoria. How was it getting just experiencing sparring with him? I've been seeing him spar a lot since he been coming up. Obviously, we've seen him on TV and all that shit, but we learned he was a boxer during that time frame.
Yeah.
How is he? How was that skill set and getting that work in with him?
Juana has been boxing since the same time I was boxing. He had took his break to go do acting, and at a certain point, I had took a break off from boxing due to like external and personal reasons and things of that nature. But Juana has been in there with the best of like the country's top guys. Like he's been in there with Kermel Moton. He's been in there with Kaipo Gallegos. Robert Merriweather. People of these like upper echelon and high caliber amateurs. So Juana by no means is like walkover or pushing apart. He's actually very, very skilled in what he does. And he kind of has a boxing mind and he's a southpaw. So he's already, he's awkward and crafty. You know what I mean? Juan is a really good boxer. And so he's also tall and long. So sparring him kind of really got my range really together. You know what I mean? Kind of knowing how I'm in and out of range, how far and how close I can be, like where I'm in danger and where I'm out of danger. Because Juan will catch you at the end of his punches because he throws them like he extends. You know what I mean? Because he's pretty long. So sparring him, like that got me good. I had got some work in with Javon Woodard earlier, like earlier in the camp. That was good work. He's a real crafty pro. He's a vet. You know what I mean? I understand why his record is the way it is. You know what I mean? He places his punches real well. He's real nice and he's solid and strong on the inside. Like it's like you punching a brick wall. You know what I mean? He gave me some real good tips and pointers to like that I took with me to the nationals. You know what I mean? Who else I got some work in with? I sparred a couple of fighters at a Fighter for Life. Another professional, Eric Howard. It's always good work between me and Eric. He had a fight with Robert Merriweather and Kaipo Gallegos. He's a good pro in the ranks. You know what I mean? He doesn't get the appreciation he deserves. You know what I mean? But sparring him definitely prepared me, and I think that's pretty much about it.
No, yeah. Shout out to Javon Woodard too, man. He was actually our last interview. Javon was, man. So shout out to Javon Woodard. That's a good little stable of work though, man. Especially Javon. We know how skilled Javon is. Just how tough he is too. So I know he gave you some good work. I
Yeah.
know you. I know obviously you said it's your sophomore year in school, right?
It's my
Well,
junior year.
junior
It's my
year, right?
junior
So you
year.
started 2023, right? So junior year. So I
Yeah.
guess in terms of how do you want to kind of play that in terms of possibly going pro? Do you plan on waiting until you're done with school, or do you plan on possibly starting before you graduate or something like that?
I mean, the plan, the plan is to have like my first pro fight while I'm still a student at Morehouse. I feel like that would be bigger than anything, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Professional boxer debuts while still attending Morehouse College. I feel like that's really ultimately the goal. So hopefully sometime within the next year or so, I have that opportunity, but like I'm not really rushing anything. You feel me?
Do you know what weight class you looking to turn pro in yet, or you kind of still letting your body
I
decide that?
mean, I mean, after I was a late bloomer when I was younger, so after every single one of these tournaments, I keep growing. You know what I mean? So at first we were thinking like 22, and then like recently 26 has really been what we've been thinking. But I might still grow, and it might mess around and be 30 because like I'm 5'8" right now. I might grow to 5'9", 5'10", and I'm not really the skinniest. You feel me? Like,
And then, man, just in terms of obviously getting older and approaching them pro, you damn near about to turn pro. You said about a year from now. How has your pops been kind of motivating you? We cool
yeah.
with your pops. Shout out to Rock Pitts. How has your pops been kind of motivating you in terms of you approaching your pro status?
I mean, Pops has been letting us know that we just go keep doing what we've been doing. The work is working, you know what I mean? Strengthening the base, you know what I mean? Turning my shoulders and really just like I feel like the biggest step like from when you turn pro is really like you got your foundation of how you want to box, but perfecting your basics, you know what I mean? Like really what we're gonna work on is just perfecting our basics and make sure there's no holes in my game at all. Bulletproof my conditioning, make sure my defense is impenetrable. You know what I mean? Make sure my offense is unpredictable. And like if we follow these rules, by no way, like by no means can we fail.
Do you have a number of tournaments or fights? Like I want this amount of tournaments or this amount of fights before we turn pro?
Tournament wise, I'm thinking like 2 to 3. I think I might want to do JOs like I think I might want to do the Junior Olympics, you know what I mean, and turn pro like after my birthday.
Word.
Right. Thanks. When your birthday?
June 21st, man.
Okay. Yeah. We close. I'm the 15th, man. Yeah. We close. We
Oh
close.
yeah, man. Shout out to Gemini's, brother.
You know it. Yeah, man.
For
And then,
sure.
man, and then just coming from Atlanta, man, it's I feel like it's like a growing area for boxing. Have you kind of started to notice that? Just obviously, you doing your
Damn.
thing at you and your homies doing your thing at school, but just in terms of Georgia and Atlanta in general, I just feel like it's a growing area for the sport. Do you kind of get that same feeling?
Man, Atlanta, like really the growth, like Atlanta's always been great for boxing. Like even when I came here, like we had like Granite City, you know what I mean? Granite City, they'll send 6 fighters to the national tournaments and they coming home with 4 national titles, you know what I mean, every time. But I feel like recently the national champions who was winning then, they're starting to hit the scene really like heavy now. Like Brian Norman Jr. was one of those names
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Granite City.
Word. He been
Najee
great.
Lopez, K Champ, Georgia boxing really is growing, you know what I mean, in an astounding way. And not only in those pros, but like in our younger generation of amateurs, I feel like we have like some of the most talented fighters coming up from Georgia. Alon, the Pitt Lewis, you feel me? You got Ave Lewis, the two brothers, they're brothers, one number 1 and one number 3. They both
I
fire.
think
You know what I
I think
mean?
I think it's a guy from Atlanta that trained with Boozy. Forgot his name.
Say his name again.
Uh who the boy that trained with Boozy? His name I think is Hayden
Mosey,
Brady.
Haven Brady.
Ain't he from Atlanta
Yeah,
or
he from Albany. Yeah, he from Albany. He a good fighter. Like Georgia really is on the come up for real. Like the young amateurs, I would like to like put a spotlight on. You got like Macklin White. You got Issa. You got Issa Brownell.
Yeah, bet.
Who else? You got Axel Reyes. You got his little brother as well, Uriah Reyes. Like it's a lot of young. You got Hassan. You got Hassan. I can't. Hassan Myers, I believe his name is, from Champion Boxing Gym. He's a real good fighter. There's a lot of good fighters coming from Georgia. So the future of Georgia amateur boxing is great. You know what I mean?
where Brian Norman got a big fight coming up too, man. Who you liking that? Who you liking that fight?
Man, I
No
got Norm the
biases. No
Storm,
biases.
man. I got
No
Norm the Storm, man. I
biases.
got Norm the Storm, man. I'm willing to bet whatever with whoever. I'm taking it there. I don't care. I got Norm the Storm, dog.
Hey, I feel it. I feel it, man. It's a good fight, man. I really like the fight, especially with Brian. Last few fights, man, he just been cooking. You know what I'm saying? He been
I feel
frying
like
dudes out there.
bro, like the thing is, like I'm not gonna say too much, but from what I've seen, he ain't even shown too much yet. He nasty, bro. He nasty. He
No, I know
nasty.
you've
And this
been.
a
I know you.
eyewitness telling you he nasty.
No, I know you've been in the ring with him on multiple occasions. Uh, like I said, I can't wait. I think that's. I think that's. I'm more looking forward to that fight than I was looking forward to the Canelo and Crawford fight.
Man, that's just gonna be it's gonna be like it's gonna be a good test for both guys. You know what I'm saying? It's
They
just
just both in their prime.
we know you got Norman, but how do you feel like the fight gonna go? You know what I mean? No bias in society. You feel like it's a good fight? Or you think Norman just gonna fry him?
Man, I think it's gonna be a good fight. Like my realistic analysis of it, I think I got Norman inside of like 10. I got Norman inside of 10 because we're not finna sit here and act like Devin Haney isn't on like the highest level skill of boxing. Like, you know what I mean? They're damn near is for real. I just feel like I got Brian Norman. I got Brian Norman before 10. I feel like he can win a decision though.
No, in fact, I feel that. That's a tough one for me, especially with Devin not having the best last couple performances. I do
Shit.
think he the more the superior boxer, but with him not having the last couple performances is tough.
That's 50-50.
Uh, it's a tough one for me, man. It's a hard pick for me. I really do like Norman. I really do like Haney. I can't give a definitive pick right now. I mean, give me the week of, give me fight week. I had some. I
I
typically
got,
go with the boxer,
yeah, I was
but
about to say that's who I got. I ain't gonna lie
No,
to
I
you.
I
definitely
typically go with
I
the boxer.
understand.
I got Devin Haney. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got Devin the Dream pulling it off. It's a 50-50 fight though. It could go either way.
Yeah, I just don't think Dev can catch nothing crazy, man. He can't catch nothing crazy, dog.
Devin, who I think he is, he gonna win.
That's what it is. He just gotta show if he's still that guy. He gonna have to put on that Regis performance.
Like I said, I got Devin Haney going into this fight. Going into that fight, that's a 50-50 fight. That's two fighters in their primes. Uh, that's two really good top talents. I definitely think Devin Haney gonna pull it off though. That's what I'm leaning to right now. I do want to watch more film on both of them, and like I said, my pick could change, but that's what I'm leaning towards. At least Devin Haney. That's not my final pick, but if they was fighting tomorrow, that's probably who I lean to. But that's gonna be a good fight. The winner of that fight could possibly like come out of that fight like a star, and at least kind of a star in some type way. Especially if the winner go out there and win impressively, whether it's Brian Norman or Devin Haney. Because if you Devin Haney, you win impressively. He damn near might be a first ballot Hall of Famer just by being Brian Norman. And like I said, Brian Norman go out there win impressively. Now we got to start talking about pound for pound type of talks. So like it put them both in a different conversation, no matter who wins.
Real shit. That's what make it a
Nah,
great
for
fight.
sure.
Like
I
you said,
totally
both
agree.
guys in their prime. I don't know, man. I think Brian rolling right now. Uh, Devin a little iffy to me right now, but I just know he got the skill set. So that's what really make it hard for me right now. Well, I don't know. I think Devin gonna look good at the new weight class. Well, at 47, if he, at 47, I think he gonna look good there. Uh, but yeah, man, Brian, this weight class right now, man. He the best guy there right now. So, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a good fight, man. What you think about that Canelo Crawford? Did you think it was going like that? Did you think Canelo's gonna get cooked like that?
I mean, I always had Terrence Crawford like from the beginning. There was no way I could pick against him. I mean, I fight super similar to Bud. Like that's where the switch hitting really came from for real. Like my dad, you know what I mean? He was like, you gonna fight Southpaw and Orthodox like since the beginning. You know what I mean? So Bud has always been somebody that I paid very close attention to. And like early on in my watching of Bud, I didn't like I was like, I don't know. Like the eye tests are really like, but like when you really pay attention to the way Bud has really mastered boxing, it's kind of ridiculous. Like he has one of the best lead hands on the opposite stance battle from either side. Like that's really why he gets what he wants for real because he's gonna win that lead hand battle no matter where he's at. He's really one of the most like smart and like technical boxers like of all time. You know what I mean? Like he's really an all time great at what he does. You feel me? So I knew like with Canelo, like he's had trouble with people who have had a little bit more of a slick style, like always, like Eris Landy Lara, William Stoll, like he that like the scorecard didn't look like it, but that was a decent fight in my opinion. Caleb Plant was giving him troubles before, you know what I mean? He got stopped. And Floyd Mayweather, in my opinion, 11-1, 10-2 Canelo. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's like
B-Ball definitely
I
boxed
kind of,
too.
I kind of like, yeah, I kind of just had like, I kind of had Crawford by not however he wanted. I didn't think he was going to stop Canelo, but I knew he was going to be able to evade everything Canelo had. You know what I mean?
No, facts. It was kind of like I don't know, bro. It
You
looked like
think
blood was flowing in there too.
you think Crawford better than Mayweather?
Nah, nah,
Uh, no,
nah.
I'm glad you answered like that because if anybody want to know how good Floyd is, like that's how good he is. There's no, he didn't even think about it.
That's TBE, man. That's TBE.
As good as
He
what you
different.
seen on TV, he said no, he didn't even think about it.
He
No,
different.
yeah, Floyd's a different breed out
That's
there, man. Like you said,
yeah.
he 10-2 Canelo ass. We know it's young Canelo, but the boy
And
was still coming up in the
he got
dog.
hit.
So
In my opinion, like I said, I think both got an argument for who beat the better. Because Crawford definitely beat the more powerful, more experienced, better IQ Canelo. But I think Floyd beat the more younger, hungrier, faster, and like I don't want to say more ability because I think Canelo got more ability now than he was younger. But he just used to do a little bit more shit when he was a little younger. Like the Canelo who fought Triple G, the
Not
Canelo who
100%.
fought yeah, the Canelo who fought Triple G, the Canelo who fought Austin Trout, like even the Canelo who fought Erzlandi Lara, like he just used to try a little bit more shit. If shit wasn't working, he'd try this to try this. Where lately over his last 7, 8 fights, is just he gonna walk you down with the high guard. He gonna throw everything hard. He gonna load up on a lot of shots. But like I said, in that era when he was being Austin Trout, like he kind of he had more of a two bag basically is what I'm trying to say. So like even though Crawford beat probably a more experienced and more powerful Canelo, Floyd beat a hungrier and a guy that, like I said, had a deeper two bag in my opinion.
Nah, I totally agree. Like that's my exact analysis of it, actually.
no, yeah, Bud made that look a lot easier than people was expecting, man. Shout out to Bud. That shit was crazy. Now it's like really, I don't see there being too much left for him to do, to be honest, in my opinion.
I
I
think he
say he
should
run to the
retire.
sunset. Yeah, I say he ride off into the sunset,
Yeah,
man.
he had the point in his career where some people get to the point in your career where you ain't got nothing else to do but lose. So now you're just playing with fire where Usyk kind of in that similar situation where he could play with fire and start fighting these young up and coming big heavyweights, or you could just retire on top and be remembered as a top 5, top 10 greatest heavyweight ever. But if you keep going and you start losing, it will start to count to your legacy. Everybody always use Roy Jones Jr. as an example. He retired after beating that heavyweight. If he retired from there, he probably known as the greatest ever. But he didn't retire, and what went on to transpire is what happened. So you got to count all that happened.
Shit, in fact, got a little too old, still at them higher weight classes, got to,
Yeah. So
start getting stopped.
now you
But
got 7, 8 losses that wasn't even supposed to count for real, but because you kept fighting, it's there now. So now when we talk about your legacy, we can ignore it for a little bit, but you can only ignore it so much. So Crawford in that stage where he
Exactly.
retired on top and it's damn near a perfect career. Like ain't no point to fight these young up and coming guys and all. I think you should go unless it's for the rematch. If if Canelo want the rematch, that's the only fight that's worth it. If he want to fight you again,
right for another $75 million, we'll
yeah,
take it.
that's the only fight that's worth it. And he easy work. So 75 million, and I'm gonna cook him again. Well, why not?
Okay.
And mind you,
It might be
I
worse
had
the second go
Canelo winning.
round.
It might be worse, dog.
Yeah, I mean y'all had
It
Bud. I
might be
mean
worse the second go round.
I thought the power was gonna be too much. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought Canelo was gonna overwhelm me. Uh, I just thought I thought it was just gonna be on some Jamel Charlo type time where it just was you was just gonna see right away that he was just too strong, but that just wasn't the case. So.
No, man, yeah. That man, he could barely touch that man. That shit was crazy. He barely touched him, man.
How you feel about
Couldn't even look at him.
the Lester Martinez and the Billy fight? You catch that?
Man, I caught that. Boy, they was throwing on God, man. They were throwing. They was throwing. And
Yeah,
exact like as soon as it ended, I was like, I don't even know who won. Like
Yo,
that might be a draw.
yeah,
it was, that shit
that
was
was
crazy.
probably that was probably the fairest fight. Like that was probably the best judges calling that I seen in a minute. Like that was as fair as you could ever judge a fight.
Like
Cause like
really, what could like who could you even edge it out to for real? Like neither of them was doing anything to like really like put them above the other guy. They were really going blow for blow.
because they were, and even when they did, it's like they always took the play away. So even when it looked like Lester might be like, all right, he might be taking over, and Billy would take the play away, and then he'll start fighting downhill. And then it look like he could start taking over, and then Lester do something crazy, and he take it away. So neither one of them let each other get too much ahead. They always took the play away from each other. Right when it looked like it possibly can start going ahead, the other guy did something to make it right back even.
Yeah, exactly.
That shit was crazy. The rematch already ordered. How you like a rematch, man? We know they gonna come to scrap. Can you
I
kind of
think
edge to a guy?
You know, I
yeah,
got Lester.
I think and Billy might get it done.
No, I
You get in Billy, and Billy one of them. He just relentless, man. He just don't stop. He just I don't know because the moments I like Lester too, but you can kind of see where Lester he might have tried to create some distance. He might have tried to let some shots off at distance, and
yeah,
Billy not doing that. And Billy coming right at you
yeah.
all night, 10 rounds straight. Don't matter, just throwing hands.
That was that was the only surprise part, mine. Because like I said, Lester was an underdog going in there. I thought he was going to win though. I like Lester. I've been high on Lester for a minute. Uh, I think he's gonna win the rematch. I did think Lester was gonna be able to fight downhill a little bit more, but Billy just a dog. And to give him Billy credit and to give Lester credit, I did see times where Lester was trying to turn him and go use an angle to get off him and not try to fight him so head on, but just and Billy just wasn't going for it. Like a lot of times, like he probably got it off. Like he probably was able to turn him about 2, 3 times total in the fight, but like he was trying to do it more, but once a guy forcing you to, let like he's just not going for it, it is what it is. But that was a good fight. I definitely think Lester going to win the rematch.
Yeah, but I think you're gonna have to create some distance this time around, man. Get into a firefight with that man. We know you can do it. You just did it.
Yeah, I about
But
to
in
say that.
terms of trying to win the fight for real, I think you gotta just box him a smidge more. You're gonna have to fight. That's you don't have
Yeah,
a choice. But I'm just saying, I
Yeah.
just feel like you're gonna have to box a little bit more, in my opinion.
yeah. And I think another thing that giving Billy credit, I think his speed. I think he was a smidge faster than Lester Martinez. I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Somebody could have thought Lester was faster, but I thought Lester was giving more high quality of punches and his timing was better. But I thought, like I said, Billy was just a dog for one, and he was doing a lot of combination. He was just this much faster than him.
Yeah, I agree.
My guy Chad, the Candyman Pitts, bro. Let the people know where they can find you at, bro.
Man, y'all can find me on Instagram, Chad KSP, and my other one, Candyman Pitts. YouTube, just search up Chad Pitts, put boxing behind it, man. You know, thank y'all. They know boxing and Philly to Detroit, man. I appreciate y'all.
You
Yes, sir.
already know it, bro. We
Sir.
locked in. You already know.